Hello, it's Lion here with Hobbies Man once again, and today we're going to be doing another manga first impressions review. Today we're going to be looking at My Darling Next Door by Rukana, published by Kodansha under the Besatsu Friend magazine. The demographic here is shoujo. The genre here is rom-com, although it has kind of elements of slice of life too. And it does not have an adaptation, at least I couldn't find one. And I think this story is only about 5 or 6 volumes, so it's pretty short. But I really enjoyed it, so I do hope that it gets an adaptation at some point, although I know that shoujo doesn't really generally get adapted into anime all that much, although they do kind of get animated to, or they do get adapted into live action shows, which kind of makes sense, actually. Like, I understand that. But yeah, so the premise here is basically there's this high school girl, her name is Ririka, which I think is a horrible name, but you know, whatever. And she lives with her dad, and it's because her parents were divorced. And I think her mom is French, and she lives in France. And so her dad and her mom used to live in France, and then eventually they divorced. And Ririka and her dad move over to Japan, I think. And her dad works for some company. And one day she's, you know, in her apartment complex, and she kind of meets this guy. She bumps into this guy called Hino, who is a young male adult. And, you know, he's like a 20-something-year-old adult. And she's like a 15 or 16-year-old high schooler. And she notices that he looks tired, he's slow, like his vibe is slow, and that he's eating a bunch of junk food. And so, being a good neighbor, she's like, hey, I can give you some leftovers I have later when I cook them, so you don't have to eat, you know, junk food all the time. He says, thank you. They move on. A few hours later, she comes by because her dad actually told her to invite the young guy to go into the house, right? And to eat with them, right? And so she ends up kind of liking him because he answers the door kind of half naked because he was showering. And so she has like an initial attraction to him. But then they end up being friends. And throughout the whole volume, that kind of like crush starts to develop a lot. And so by the end of it, you think they're probably going to be more than that. And overall, I really enjoyed it. I liked it a lot, honestly. It had good art. I mean, it is kind of more shoujo looking because, it's a shoujo, so of course it's going to have that kind of art style. But I really liked it. I thought the story was good. The age gap romance is kind of sus. Like, you know, most people would not be comfortable with it. But, I mean, since it's fiction, I don't really have a problem with it. It's whatever. Like, I don't, you know, I don't have an issue with it. And the situations that happen are pretty good. And honestly, the thing that I think probably made it so that I would like this is because it's basically a reversed version of Beauty and the Beast, which is one of my favorite manga that I continuously, you know, keep up with. So, yeah, if you like Beauty and the Beast and you want to try shoujo manga, My Darling Next Door is a pretty good one. Definitely has a different vibe. It's not the same thing. But it's pretty good, and it mostly deals with the emotional development of the characters, whereas Beauty and the Beast is mostly about the kind of like exchange between the characters, that kind of like I give you food, you give me company kind of thing. Whereas this is more like, I don't know, it feels more focused on the emotional connection between the two characters, or mostly Ririka's emotional like I guess instability when it comes to this guy, because she finds him really attractive. So I don't know, really good stuff overall. I liked it, so I definitely recommend you guys give it a read. And yeah, that's really all there is to it. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe, and comment down below. Let me know what you thought, and thank you guys very much for watching. See you guys later.